Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about something that people don't like to talk about when it comes to losing weight or maintaining or dieting, and that is the word failure or struggling or not being able to stick to your diet or feeling out of control or losing motivation or all those sort of negative words that are associated with dieting that we tend to think of as failing at dieting. Um, so is it that when I'm maintaining, I mean, most of you know that I lost 7.5 stone 4 years ago now, and I've been successfully maintaining for 4 years now, as you can see. You can just about see in the background there. What way do I need to put my finger? I'll move my head the other way in a minute, but those pictures that are there are me when I was bigger, 7.5 stone. I should bring them closer, shouldn't I? So does it mean that to successfully maintain or to successfully lose weight that you never ever, so do I never ever eat more than I need to, so overeat? Do I never ever put on weight? Do I never ever feel like I'm out of control? Um, well, I can assure you as a maintainer, I have times when I do overeat more than I need. I do feel out of control sometimes, and I do put on weight sometimes. But does that mean that I'm a failure because I've done that? Um, I want to kind of challenge that whole perception of what it means to fail. And I'm going to give you an example this week of something that with my clients I've called Raisin Gate. And I've written about it in my newsletter, which is you can find on my Cambridge Weight Plan website page if you want to look it up, and all my previous newsletters. So this week I had a very difficult situation that I had to deal with, and it was really hard, and it brought up lots and lots of uncomfortable feelings for me, which I kept at bay all day. And then by keeping busy, which is one of my coping strategies. And then by the end of the evening, when suddenly I wasn't so busy anymore, I couldn't drown out those difficult feelings by keeping busy. So I turned to an age-old coping strategy of mine, which is food. I learned at a very early age that eating something makes me feel better, and we all know that's true because we all know that it's nice to eat something, isn't it? It is, and that niceness is a very chemical reaction that happens inside of us. It's a release of all our feel-good hormones, and it makes us feel nice, and it helps us to deal with or numb or drown out or make them seem less those difficult things that we're going through. And so the very, very difficult situation that I was in earlier on this week, because it was so stressful, my body was flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone, and I reverted to type. I reverted to a time when it was easier to deal with the difficulties by using food than it was to actually deal with the thing itself and the feelings that it was that were being raised for me. So I worked my way around the kitchen, desperately trying to find something to eat because I just didn't want to sit with those difficult feelings that night. And I could hear the debate going on inside my head of I really shouldn't be doing this, as I was opening up all the kitchen cupboards and fridge and everything trying to find something. And the voice that came back, my voice that came back was, I don't care. I'm going to do it. I'm going to eat this because I don't want to sit with this discomfort that I'm feeling right now. So I have learnt, and I've spoken about before, about a mindset or an attitude, which has been devised by someone called Carol Dweck, who's an American psychotherapist, and I'm not going to go into the detail of this now, but it's about fixed and growth mindset. And I very much have this attitude now of, rather than being fixed in the perception of I cannot lose weight or I cannot maintain my weight, which is a very fixed mindset, as in an example would be, so you can just about see behind me my cello and the piano. a fixed mindset is that someone feels that they're not musical, they don't have those musical genes, and they could never learn to do something like that. Um, well, albeit not particularly brilliantly, I've been learning the cello for 4 years now, and so I know, even though I don't have a particular musicality about me, that no one in my family, and I'm not particularly good, I have been able to learn the basics, and I enjoy having a go at learning. So fixed mindset is I wouldn't be able to do it, so I'm not even going to try. Growth mindset is I'm going to give it a go, and I'll see what I can develop, see what I can learn, and it's having that belief that you can learn. So once the immediate stress of Raisingate had dissipated, because all feelings, no matter how bad they are, eventually they ease, and I know that just from my life experiences. Um, I was able to sit and think to myself, okay, let's look at this whole thing from a growth mindset, and what can I learn from what's happened? And just having that attitude has completely changed something that would have in the past I'd have perceived as a humongous failure. I worked out, by the way, that I had eaten about 1,300 calories just within probably the space of about 20 minutes, by eating raisins, then cashew nuts, and then dry pineapple. I found, all to drown out those difficult feelings. I another 1,300, I think it was, calories on top of my normal calories that day, way over what my calories should have been that day. So I did overeat. I was out of control. I have put on weight because of that this week. Not a lot, but a little. But my whole attitude has been, this was something that I needed to learn. This is something I needed to tweak and change to help me with my maintenance and to help me to be a happier person. So having that sort of attitude has been, it's actually quite liberating, having that, because it means that you can view failure as something, what you perceive as failure, as something actually really positive, and a huge opportunity to listen to that, what I call my wise inner voice, or psychotherapists would call it your inner child. But it's that part of me, that part that was going, I don't give a damn that you feel you shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to do it anyway. Well, why did she feel that? Why did that wise inner voice say that to me? And what do I have to learn from that? So I have learned that, because of everything that's going on in my life at the moment, I'm slipping back into old ways of, uh, some of the time, of not looking after myself very well, and so that was a way of looking after myself. And although I try very hard not to do that, when this very stressful situation came up, it was like my coffee cup had overflowed with coping, and I just couldn't do it anymore, so I reverted to an old way of coping. So I'm looking very closely now at how I need to look after myself a little better. Um, and I'm putting in place lots of different things to do that now. And I've also downloaded and had someone teach me, because I downloaded it once before and felt, oh, I can't do this, MyFitnessPal, so that I can log in detail exactly what I'm having, so that I can stop fooling myself into thinking that just because something is healthy, which I never eat donuts or chocolate cookies or in excess, or those sorts of things that in the past I would have definitely eaten. I don't overeat those sorts of things now, but I can easily overeat the things that I consider more healthy, because my mind goes, but this is healthy, it's okay. So I've downloaded MyFitnessPal so that I can log in detail exactly what it is I'm doing. And keeping that self-awareness going, both of what I'm putting in me, what my weight's doing, and how am I feeling, what do I really need to do to look after me, and to put my needs first, because I'm worth it, I really am. So is all of that knowledge failure? Nah, I've learned so much. Brilliant win.